Hi there, hello. This is my review for the new EP from two separate artists. The EP is called Soul Kiss, and the two separate artists are Frost Children and HARU Nemuri. So HARU Nemuri is a female Japanese rock, pop, metal, hip hop artist who also is kind of into poetry and injects that into her songs and lyrics as well. And Frost Children are an American duo that make a lot of sort of pop, EDM, and rock in very specific genres within each of those three genres. So if you're unfamiliar with them, I would say their contemporaries are like Machine Girl, maybe Pendulum, 100 gecs, sort of stuff like that. So this EP actually came out within the last few days. I really like it. It's not too often that you see a Japanese artist collab for a whole project with a non-Japanese artist. Now, knowing the musical stylings of these two separate acts, I was really interested to see what it would sound like. They are pretty close sonically, but they're not quite the same. I don't want to lump her in that kind of miracle, spiritual, lyrical individual sort of lane, but she is very lyric heavy. And almost in a way, the instrumentals are secondary to what she's saying in her songs. And to kind of inverse that, I feel like Frost Children are very vibe heavy. So a lot of their appeal comes from their production, and then their vocals kind of come secondary to that. So because of that, I was really interested to see how they would kind of meld their two strengths together. And frankly, I think they did a really fantastic job. So since this is an EP and it's about 18 minutes long, let's just go song by song for this review. So the first song is called Daijoubu desu. And that basically means, if you don't know the phrase already, that just means like, I'm fine. So the hook is just Haru Nemuri saying, I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm not fine, I'm not fine, I'm fine, I'm fine, not fine, not fine, blah, 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 blah. I think it sounds really awesome in the context of the song and the way Haru Nemuri sings it. But then there is also the secondary hook by Frost Children, and that sounds really cool too. It's very goth, very 2000s kind of punk. For instance, I would say if you like Bring Me the Horizon, you'd probably like how this song sounds, I would think. There's this really prominent bass line kind of in the middle of the song. It just reminds me a lot of something from the first album from the band Justice called Cross. It just sounds like some of their live instrumentation that they would have used there, which I love. So hearing it on this song, just, it sounded so good. I love that. Generally, I feel like the least you could say about Daijoubu desu is just that it's a fantastic intro song. It just really introduces you to what you're about to hear for the rest of the like 13 or 14 or so minutes. So the next song is called Burn. Right off the bat, I just love how Haru Nemuri sounds with her raps here. She has such a cool flow. It's quick, it's energetic, she kills it here. I really like how Frost Children sort of managed to incorporate her into the hook as they sing. That really makes her feel like she's more part of the band. And then just in general, I feel like she gets a lot of time to really shine on this song too. So thank you for that, Frost Children. So it's not just her that sounds really good here. I think Frost Children also sound great on this song too. I really like their vocals, and I feel like they're very complimentary of Haru Nemuri's. So if the last song had this very strong Justice sort of vibe, this song is definitely a lot more like Pendulum. And if you don't know Pendulum, they're from the UK, they were around in the 2000s and then made music in the early 2010s, kind of went away for a while and are now just starting to come back over the last few years. But they were kind of this like EDM rock fusion, and I really feel like that's what's happening on this song, and to a somewhat lesser extent across the whole album. I feel like this song is very Pendulum-esque, and I love them, so I'm into this song, like a lot. The next song is called Supernatural, and on this one, I feel like Haru Nemuri is a little underutilized in a way. I will say though that I do really love her super harsh vocals on this song. They sound fantastic. And this song also features some very dancey production. Again, I kind of get this Justice sort of sound from this one as well. This might be my favorite song on the album, and that's primarily because of the outro. It just fucking goes. It kind of turns into this house song, and it just explodes with rhythm, and it just sounds awesome. So yeah, I think this probably is my favorite song actually. Though, like I said, I just wish Haru Nemuri was on here a little bit more. Oh yeah, okay. We're so back. So the next song is called Bad Thing, and to me, this sounds like a very classic Haru Nemuri song. Once again, she joins in on these very harsh vocal segments kind of in the middle of the song, and she sounds really nice here. Speaking of that middle, there is this guitar section in the middle that just sounds fantastic too. And then just to top it all off, I really like the cascading vocals at the very outro of this song from Frost Children. It sounds really cool, and I love that. And it seems like they do that a lot. So That's one of my favorite aspects of their kind of whole style. And with that, we have the last song, which is called Get Well Soon. It's not a bad song, which I feel like is a very rude way to like start that off, but I just kind of wish the EP ended in a more bombastic way. This would be a good closer for like a whole album because you're probably over the whole experience of it and you kind of need some kind of come down song. But I feel like this EP doesn't really need that considering it's so short. I would have liked for this to have been another hard song, but I do appreciate the fact that they were like, well, we've already done all that, so let's have one sort of more mellow song as the outro, which is fine. So her vocals are kind of hard to make out on this song, but from what I can tell, she's kind of just talking about how she's been like broken in the past and don't break her again. And she still remembers that and blah, 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 blah. Not to kind of minimize what she's saying here, but she's also said it like dozens of times on her other songs. So it's nothing groundbreaking in that way, though it is very much her. So kudos to being yourself, I guess. Stay true to yourself. That's important, you know? And yeah, that is the EP. In general, I think this is just a really fun project. I really like the kind of spirit of collaboration here. I think Haru Nemuri really melds well with Frost Children's style. And yeah, I just think it's honestly a really fantastic collaboration. And with that said too, I'd actually really like to see this trio make more music together, but I always feel like these international collaborations are always just sort of iffy. I think overall, this is just a super enjoyable project, and I would rate it an 8 out of 10. I think my only reservations from scoring it any higher are just that the songs at times feel a little too sparse, kind of production-wise. So having either those very sparse sections cut down or maybe filled out a little more would probably get me a little bit more interested in them overall.
Hey there, it's your boy. So the audio quality is about to be really bad in this next section of the video, and so the irony isn't lost on me that I'm about to talk about audio issues in the video as I'm having very poor, bad audio issues. So apologize for being a hypocrite is kind of what I wanted to do right now. So yeah, sorry.
I also would have liked to have highlighted Haru Nemuri's lyrics a little bit more often, but it was either she was singing in English or she was singing very well-known Japanese phrases, or I could not hear her. And it was hard to kind of make out exactly what words she was saying. So obviously I could still hear them, but I wasn't quite sure which word she was saying or how she was conjugating them. Just because at some very specific moments, she would be going through a sentence in Japanese and then I couldn't hear like maybe 2 to 3 words. And then that just completely throws you off. What was she talking about? What was the verb? What was the tense? And it's just, I just can't follow that. And I'm not really surprised by that just because the very heavy and chunky production is just kind of indicative of the music that Frost Children makes. It's not like they were doing it on purpose, right? That's just kind of a byproduct of the music they make. So, but yeah, fantastic project overall. I'd love another one. I'd love a part 2. That'd be so sick. I look forward to more music from each of the groups. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching. If you have any other recommendations for things I should listen to, please let me know in the comments, or you can hit me up on Twitter, which I have linked on my profile on YouTube. So just let me know. And thank you for watching, and have a great rest of your day.